Hi, friends. Happy Saturday. Welcome to our partner yoga and massage offering. We're coming to you from rainy Carborough today, and we thought that it might be sweet to offer a little recording of a partner practice for movement and embodiment with your friend, with your lover, with your parent, with your kiddo, with somebody who's in your pod, so that you can be with the experience of holding and being held. Valentine's Day comes with all sorts of expectations and projections about what we should and should not have in our lives, and that is not the intention of this offering. This offering is meant to invite you to consider someone in your life that feels good to be in active relationship with, and to practice that consciously while being in your bodies together, because that is a gift. So I offer this to you with the context that you need it, with love and with devotion to the practice of vulnerability together. So this is my partner Casey, and he has agreed to let me do whatever I want today. So that feels like a great offering. And we're gonna start back to back. I've set up this little space by just putting a thick yoga mat underneath and then stacking a few blankets on top of one another for a soft base. So you can play around with setting up a little nest like that. And we've lit our favorite candle from Bright Buck Candle in Durham, and I've got some of my favorite amber oil that I'm just gonna put on my pulse points. So whatever it is that lets you sort of cue to your system and your body that you are sacred and that the practice of connecting is sacred, you can do that now. And just letting yourself start to arrive in your seat. You can snuggle your lower back towards your partner and let your side body lengthen. Start to notice the parts in particular of the architecture of your back that are yearning to lean in towards your partner. And as a partner, you can feel too the kind of push-pull that's happening here. There's not a collapse, and there's also not a pushing over, right? There's a little bit of play side to side until you find just the right amount of effort and ease, so that you can feel something solid behind you, but it's also yielding. And you might like to close your eyes here and just allow yourself to relax into a prayer of offering our vulnerability to this person behind you. And with that vulnerability, we allow ourselves to be seen and held and heard as an act of resistance to disconnection, as a statement of our willingness to be present in our bodies for ourselves and for each other. And starting to breathe really deep up and down the spine. Feel the perispinal muscles start to come online a little bit. And you might notice in the beginning that your breath is a little different than your partner's, and can you start to sync up your inhales and exhales if that feels right for you today. Feel the ways that your contact becomes a little bit more visceral on your inhale as you expand. And you arrive just a little bit more fully in your own body as you exhale and soften in towards your center. blades. Gently press back into the shoulder blades of your partner. And together, take a deep breath in. And a full exhale out through your mouth. And we'll start with a gentle twist. Bring your right hand back behind you. Bring your left hand outside your right knee. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, lengthen, crown of the head lifts. Exhale, twist. Inhale, deep breath in. Full breath out. One more time, full inhale. And full exhale. On your inhale, come back together through center. And exhale, twisting to the left, left hand back to their right knee, your right hand outside your left knee. Whoa, that was a big pop. Inhale, lengthen up through your spine. Exhale, open a little bit. Your ear just gently orienting towards your partner's breath. This is an opportunity to feel into the spirit and movement of another while also staying really present in your own body. Maybe you can feel your hands soften in on their knee a little bit. On your inhale, come on back through center. We're going to take a gentle butterfly stretch. Bring the soles of your feet together out in front of you. Your lower backs are snuggling towards each other. We're going to reach our arms up past our ears. And Kesey's going to take his fingertips around my wrists. All right, so I'm going to get really long, navel all the way up to the crown. Inhale. And on the exhale, I'm just going to let him take me back. He's gently rounding forward. I can let my head release onto his spine and let my shoulders melt down away from my ears. Just letting your sits bones be heavy on the earth. A really active communication here if you want to go a little deeper, if you want to come back a little bit. Listen to your partner's breath. If it gets short or tight, roll it back a little bit and check in. Soften for one more exhale. Inhale to slowly lift up. Release, shake it out for a moment, roll your shoulders. And then again, reaching up past the ears, this time my fingertips around. He's got a little longer arms than me, so I'm going to clasp what I can, okay? Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, I'm really listening to his speed, the person who's opening above. I'm really listening with my body and noticing, where does it start to feel tight? He can tell me too, right? But this is also an interesting practice of listening with all of my senses. Maybe puffing up my back to support him, moving my feet out a little bit to give me more room to fold. How's that feel? Just a light grip around the wrist. You're not tugging. Good. One more full exhale here. And when he's ready, he's going to initiate the lift. Rising up, we gently release the hands. Roll your shoulders up, back and down. Good. And then swing around to face each other. We're going to set up for Janu Shirshasana. So a little bit of space between us. We'll both bend the left knee, tuck it in like a tree. And he's going to fold first, which means I'm going to place the arch of my foot gently on his right shin, not directly on the knee, right? Yeah, he's even inviting me to go in a little bit more so it doesn't strain the knee. So give your partner some feedback. We're going to cross at the wrists. Which, depending on where you are, one person might be crossed, right? Okay, so I'm just going to give him some gentle pressure with the ball of my foot. I'm going to get tall in my spine. He's going to flex his right foot. We're going for a hamstring stretch. Inhale, length up through the spine. And exhale. This is an upper back stretch for me and a hamstring stretch for him. Now I can already feel that I'm actually too far back and it's hard for me to hold my core. So I'm gonna come back up. I'm gonna scoot my tush a little closer. Yeah, so I have the right leverage. So inhale to lengthen, and you'll know if it's right if you feel like as much as you can reach back with your upper back, you're also supported in your forearms. Just a gentle push of the arch of my right foot into his shin. Good. We're going to slowly lift up, switch, opposite hand on top, and then I'm going to release my foot so he can put his foot on my shin. Now he's got a little longer leg, so he might have to scoot his tush. My outstretched leg is flexed. Inhale, length. Then exhale, he's arching up and back. I'm letting myself really fold forward.
Oh, yeah. Tailbone dropping towards the earth. And just letting yourself surrender into the arc or into the fold. Soft jaw, soft fingertips. I gotta say, it's definitely more easeful on this side. The other side is a little bit of an ab workout.
All right, lift up. How'd that feel? Okay. And then we're just gonna release. We're gonna shake it out and switch sides. Right knee bends, left leg stretches out, right? The point of this is the Lila. It's the play. So as much as you can, pausing in between these shapes, looking eye to eye, orienting heart to heart. This is also just an opportunity to like be with a person who you care about. I don't remember which way we did last time. Okay, we'll try this. My knee can kind of gently encourage his leg to extend. Inhale, we're gonna find some lift. And exhale, softly back. Yeah. And you'll know if you're at the right place because you'll have just the right amount of resistance in the arms so that you can take an arc up and back as much as feels right. Maybe there's some part of being in a relationship that has felt tense or tight or a little bit off balance lately. So feeling into that, where has that been living in your body? We're going to switch sides. You can call up that feeling. And especially when you're the one who's folding in. Just feeling what it's like to be held in this moment. Noticing that at any moment, the dynamics of this connection can change just by arriving here and feeling the other person, present and willing to support you. How might that challenge the story that you've been telling yourself and make room for enjoyment of what's available in this moment? Inhale, we're going to slowly rise up. We're going to connect eyes, give each other a little squeeze. That was that last one, right? Okay. And maybe we'll take a few little circles, holding the ankles, rounding forward and back. And just playing around with what's it like to be in a relationship with each other through your eyes, through your heart. There's a lot of different ways to touch another person. Physical touch is one of those ways, and there are also a lot of others. So just feeling into what can you say with your eyes here? What kind of appreciation can you express? What's it like to be in your body in front of another person who cares about you? And when you feel ready, we're going to take it towards child's pose. So one partner is going to flip around and find their way down. And first we're gonna give him just a nice assist because he's worth it, you know? So his knees can be as far wide as they need to be. I can stand up on my feet and get some leverage, bend my knees for support in my back. Hands to the either side of the spine. Take a big breath in together. And on the exhale, I'm just gonna sit my tush back and gently ground his hips. Maybe a little rock side to side. And then keeping my left hand on the lower back, I'm gonna reach the right hand up towards the shoulder blade. Inhale. Exhale, press them apart. I'm not all the way up on the shoulder blade. I'm down right underneath the shoulder blade so I can find some length. And then lifting, switching sides, right hand down, left hand underneath the shoulder blade. Big breath in. Exhale, gently spread them apart. And communicate with your partner if you want hands in a different place or a different amount of pressure here. And when I'm ready, I'm going to reach both hands out and forward. I'm going to snuggle my fingertips into his traps and I'm just going to sit back. This is a big, long stretch along my spine for me. And some gentle little massage into the tops of the shoulders with your fingertips. Slide your hands down one more time and ground their hips. And then I'm going to swing around. I'm going to bend my knees like Malasana. I'm going to essentially sit on him. Okay, my tailbone is above his tailbone. And I'm going to use my hands and my feet to slowly drape over his spine. I might like to keep my hands down by my sides or reach my arms. You could keep your knees bent. Yeah, he's just clasping my fingertips for support. You could play around like supported bridge with walking one foot or both feet long. Check in to see if the pressure's okay on the partner underneath. Okay? And then syncing up your breath again. It might feel good to have your partner on the bottom wrap fingers around the wrists and gently lengthen. Or you might just want to chill here. If I feel any strain in my low back, I'm just going to walk my feet back in and feel into how I can move some weight into my legs. And then when I'm ready, I'm going to start to melt my forearms down, support myself as I slide my tush all the way down. Good. And he's going to take his time. When he's ready, he'll lift up and we'll switch sides. When you're ready, the person who was on top last time is going to come down towards child's pose. The knees often need to be pretty wide, especially when the other person drapes over. So I'm going to find my way to a child's pose. You can always pad with a blanket underneath your forehead. And he's going to bring his hands to my low back, spread his fingers out to the side a little bit. Take a deep breath in with me. And exhale, root my tailbone back and down. Extending power from your shoulder down through the heel of the hand. The hips can usually take more pressure than you think. And when he feels ready, he'll slide his left hand up towards my left shoulder blade. Keep the right hand at the hip. Inhale and exhale, spread the skin apart.
If you're really flexible, it might feel nice to turn your head to one side here. Good. And then when we're ready, we'll switch sides, stretching along the other diagonal. And then I'll walk his hands up to my traps. Fingertips sort of wrap around the tops of my shoulders. He's put his hands under my shirt. You're welcome to do that or put your hands over the shirt, depending on who you're hanging out with, no problem. And then you'll just drop your weight back a little bit. Yeah, to massage into the tops of the shoulders. And get a little stretch in your side body as you do it. And then one more time, grounding at the hips. And when he's ready, he'll swirl around to snuggle, tailbone above my hips. Walking the hands back, keeping the core engaged just until you release back. And then choosing hands by your sides, hands reach by your ears, legs bent or straight. And he'll let me know when he's ready to release by sliding the hands down by his sides, using them to press into my hips for support to gently lift himself up. And I'll take the time that I need to walk my hands back and find my way back up to a seat. And we're gonna set up for the massage portion. So I'll invite him to lay back, head towards one direction on his back. Okay, good. I thought it wasn't still recording, but it is. And the partner who's gonna be offering massage, you might like to have a blanket folded up, set up between the person's feet for you to sit on. You're gonna lift their feet and separate them a little bit. Does that feel okay? And then come to sit in a cross-legged position if you like, or it feels nice to me to sit back on the heels. And just take a moment to find your way into your center here, to warm your palms a little bit. Feel into the capacity to move energy through you. Taking a moment to root into yourself as an offer of support and love. Feeling your own center first. And then transitioning to hands on the receiver's feet. And just getting really clear about what you'd like to send through your hands here. Is it warmth? Is it love? Is it support? Is it kindness? What would you like the receiver to feel coming through the feet and up? And then letting that be the invitation for your body to stay really present as you start to rock. Heel of the hand smooshing down into the arch of the foot. Just rocking wave-like side to side here. And then I'm going to take that same heel of the hand and I'm going to walk it up the fleshy part of the calves really slowly, like cat paws. Just noticing if they stop breathing or you can feel their muscles bracing. That's a sign that maybe it's a little too intense. And gently slowing down the pressure or the speed slightly. Just walking the heels of the hands up and down. Taking your hands up to the quads here and really gently and slowly rocking hands side to side. I've come up onto my knees, or you can step one foot forward in this little lunge variation of lizard. So you have some leverage as you're rocking the hands, heels of the hands walking up and down the quads. Good pressure. You can actually give a lot of pressure if you don't go in fast. So I start with a light touch, and then as I can feel he's relaxing, I lean my weight in, and that's how I pour the weight. Same thing when I release. I take it off really slow. And you can kind of move your hips to facilitate pouring the weight down and in. Yeah, walking the hands up and down. Hands start to walk back, skip the knee, massaging the calf with the heels of the hands. All the way down to the feet. Scoop underneath the heels with a C grip. Pick them up. Bring the feet to your belly. Forearms come crossing over the feet, and you're just going to make those same circles with the torso. Bring the feet towards flex and towards point, pulling, and then switch directions. Forward, back, and around. Just moving at a slow, steady speed. Good. Scoop the feet up. Set the left foot down. You're going to focus on the right foot, holding underneath with your left hand. Take your hand and flex the toes gently, and then extend. Holding the arch of the foot, take a few circles in and circles out. Good, and then I'm going to scoop underneath with my right hand. I'm going to come onto my tush. I'm going to use my right foot to bend his right knee and swing the right knee out to the side. Now you can see I'm holding his right ankle, and my right foot is pressing against his right quad. You can use both hands if you like, or the other hand stabilizes this other leg. And then I'm going to walk, pulling on the ankle as I press with the arches of my feet into the belly of his hamstring. You can use the arch of the foot, you can use the ball of the foot or the toes. You're moving really slow. Same concept. You can do a lot of pressure as long as you're giving counter pressure by pulling the foot and you're going in slow. Does that feel okay? Just walking my toes up and down, exploring the different parts on the back of the thigh. I'm going to use my right foot to lift his right knee back up, extend the leg, stretch the leg up towards the sky, and step forward with my right foot. My left hand comes down onto his left quad. I use my right hand to extend out through his right heel, and he's going to drop his left bum cheek down to the earth. Big breath in. I'm going to gently press into the top of his thigh as I give him a little pressure in the right shin. The leg doesn't have to be straight. You're just encouraging a stretch as you lengthen with your right shoulder and gently pull with your right hand. Good. And then slowly coming back, gentle of extending the knee, bring the foot all the way down to the earth. Good. We're going to pick up the left foot. Holding with one hand, take a few circles in one direction of the ankle, and then circles in the other direction. Stabilizing the underneath the ankle as you flex gently, and use your hand on top of the foot as you point and pull. Good. I'm going to take my left foot to help bend his knee out. Holding with my hand, the other hand's going to come to stabilize the opposite ankle, and both feet are coming to walk from behind the knee up through all the different parts of the hamstring on the back of the thigh. And I'm pulling gently with my hand as I press with my toes. If it's feeling really hard, scoot your tush a little bit closer. Breath again. Good, and then gently use the outside foot to lift the knee up. You're going to lift the leg up and step your same foot out and forward. Use your shoulder to support this heel. Maybe my opposite hand's going to stabilize his thigh. My hand's going to gently flex his toes. And then use your hand on top of the thigh to lengthen the back of the knee. Tush comes down to the earth. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale, just gently, the slightest little lean forward. If that looks right, if they're telling you it's right. And then gently scooping back, support underneath the knee as you come all the way back to replace the foot. We're going to stand, come into a crouch. Hands come to opposite sides of the hips and just gently rocking a little side to side to loosen. Gentle wiggle. Okay, I'm going to pick his feet up. I'm going to use my knees to bend his knees, and he's going to open them out to the side. He's coming to butterfly. Then we're going to do a fancy move where I step above his hips, and I bring the feet together. How's that feel? Send your tailbone, if you're receiving, away from the crown of your head. Take a big breath in. And on the exhale, you're pressing the feet together and toes come down towards the face. I'm just gently leaning in. Inhale, release a little bit. This is so light. Exhale, just so gently. And as soon as you feel resistance, you pause there. Inhale, release a bit. I'm straightening my legs slightly as I do that. And exhale, I bend slightly to bring the toes a little bit towards the nose. One more time, inhale. Exhale. both ankles, unhook gently, step back, knees in the knee pits, and just rock side to side. And then really gently walking back. Lengthen and bring the feet down towards the earth. You can press them out to the sides. Okay, so coming back, you'll have gone and washed your hands, and the giver will arrive at the top of the receiver's head, possibly with your cat in tow. So I'm going to start here by just finding my own center again. And then my fingertips are going to turn out as I bring the heels of my hands a little above, like sort of at the top of his pecs, below his collarbones. I'll lift my seat for support. Take a big inhale. And exhale, ground down and away. So you can feel some length on the throat, maybe a little rock side to side into one arm and into the other arm. And then you can gently walk the hands up towards the fleshy part right above the armpit. Use the heels of the hands to massage, maybe even a little bit down the upper arms. Just some gentle squeezes of grounding through the heels of the hands. And I'm gonna slide, sorry, got cat hair. I'm gonna slide my hands, scoop underneath him, reach under to get. He's gonna have to lift a little bit. We're going for like a fish pose vibe. I'm making like a little bit of a curve underneath his heart. He's gonna do his best to relax into my hands. We're gonna take a big inhale together. And then exhale, he's gonna soften down as I press up with my fingertips, feeling into the back of the heart. Inhale here. Exhale. I'm lifting up and pulling back just slightly. One more time. Big breath out. And then really slowly I'll slide my fingers back until I'm cradling fingertips at the base of his occiput. Just gently holding here, pressing up into the finger pads. And when I'm ready, I'm going to turn his head into one palm. His head's lifted a little away from the earth. Heel of the other hand comes right below the collarbone. Take a big inhale. And exhale, and gently grounding down and away, down the length of his arm as I'm lengthening with my hand underneath the head, away. Just stretching on that long diagonal. He can tell me if he wants a little bit more or a little bit less. And then really gently bring that hand up, switch the head, soft transition. Hand comes to the top of the pec and armpit. Take a big breath in. And exhale, ground down, sort of in the direction of the outstretched arm. Just such a gentle pull with my fingers underneath the base of the skull. Good. And then scooping underneath with both fingertips, lengthen, draw your finger pads around the back of the head until the head naturally comes down to the earth. And then using the finger pads, you're going to take big circle scrubs across the scalp. Not fingernails, but finger pads, really grounding into the top of the head and making big circles here. Gently release that. Bring your thumbs together at the third eye. Apply just some really gentle pressure there. And then slowly draw your thumbs out in an nice, more like that. Thumbs together, pull it up from between the brows, a little bit up the forehead, and then arc out and down to the temples. Soft pressure, third time, same track with the fingers. But you're going to keep coming down past the temples, down the jawline, come right below the ear, make some little circles here at the jawbone. And then you might like to squeeze thumb and second finger down the jawline, or you can just use the thumbs to make gentle circles. Coming all the way down to the base of the chin. Again, squeeze gently thumb and second finger at the sort of dimple of the chin and right underneath the chin. And then very gently, using my index fingers, I'm going to press ever so slightly in the inside of the eyes, right below the third eye. And then 3 points underneath the eye, on the inside by the sinus, at the top of the cheekbone at the center, and out towards the outer edge of the lashes. Taking the fingers, squeezing the lobes of the ears, make some gentle little circles here. And then rubbing your fingers, squeeze slightly the earlobes and pull out, releasing in the middle and in the top. Good. And when you're ready, you're going to place one thumb on the third eye and one thumb on the heart space. And just watch your partner take 3 slow breaths. And you can take them too. And then gently releasing both thumbs. Taking a moment to pause and appreciate the ways that you've been able to offer and the ways you've been able to receive. And when you feel ready, letting the partner take as much time as they like to rest, to breathe. When it feels like time, they'll roll over onto one side, curl in for a moment, and you can just lovingly witness them. And coming up to a seat. Taking a moment, if it feels good, to check in about how that felt. Or if you're ready to transition, you can simply switch, rewind the video, and come back to the start of the massage part. Switching so that both people get a chance to give and receive. We're gonna do that now, but he gets to watch the video so we can test it out. So grateful for you being willing to spend time with one another, to spend time in deep relationship. And just encourage you to take the time that you need after this practice to share what it's like for you to be with the challenges and the joys of the vulnerability that comes with being in your bodies together. Ideally, this is a seed practice for deeper conversation and deeper knowing. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about any of these movements or about this practice in general. I love you really dearly, and we'll see you soon.